Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's album review. We haven't had any requests, so we're going to go ahead and pick an album ourselves and then go ahead and review it for you. So let me share the screen. Okay, so I'm going to press generate music albums and we'll see what we get. Have a choice of 3. Then Brett, it's his turn. We'll go ahead and choose one of those 3 for us to listen to. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here we go. We've got The Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd, which you've just literally listened to. So we've got Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd, which we just listened to. We've got News of the World by Queen. And we've got Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. So we're going to have to obviously rule out the first one because we've just done it. So Brett, you're going to go for News of the World by Queen, or are you going to go for Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath?
I'm going to go for News of the World by Queen. You know, straight out of the batting cages. Do you want me to still do a little talk through for the choice?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So Queen, obviously, I don't think they need much of an introduction. If you haven't heard of Queen, then it might be worth to maybe come back to this video, maybe listen to a bit of Queen, and then come back if you've not heard of Queen. I actually don't know the album. I'm hoping I have all the Queen songs do know. There might be 1 or 2 on there. I think it definitely seems to be one of their early ones. Black Sabbath, I know as well. I just feel, and you're probably quite glad, they're obviously quite rocky, almost like sort of metal as well, really. There's not a lot of Black Sabbath stuff that I know or like. So it's generally Queen songs. Again, probably knows all their main popular songs. But in terms of album stuff, it might interest people that because I do like a variety of music and stuff there. But with Queen, I really like. And again, it's probably influenced from parents as well because my dad had a lot of sort of Queen stuff. I wouldn't really know a lot of sort of albums or songs that aren't their sort of mainstream ones as well. I know and get why they're so popular. But I also, it's a strange one with Queen. I'm going to backtrack a little bit here. I do understand why they get hype, but it's never really done it for me personally. Since I've seen the movie as well, I think that's also a fantastic insight into Queen. But the point is, I probably don't know as much as Queen as people would have thought I would know about of Queen, really. So I know a lot of songs, but not like back catalogue stuff. So be a good insight.
That was a lot of waffling there.
That was a hell of a
right. I would have gone for the same album as well. I don't know anything about Black Sabbath, but I'm pretty sure they're very heavy. So Queen for me. I don't know much about Queen myself. So they've got some famous massive hits. So quite looking forward to it. I want to just check out the album now. So what we'll do is we'll pause it and we'll come back to you guys in a second. Okay, I've just shared the screen, show you the track listing. So we've got We Will Rock You, which is very famous. We Are the Champions, very famous as well. They're the only 2 I know. So it's got 11 tracks in total. It's quite a short album, 39 minutes, 10 seconds long. I don't think we'll do the bonus tracks. It's We Will Rock You Again. It's a bonus remix. So, Brett, any other songs on there that you recognise?
Yeah, the only other one I recognise is Spread Your Wings. But I won't say too much about that as of now. But otherwise, that they're the only three songs that I know and recognise.
Yeah, I may know "Spread Your Wings" if I once I hear it. Don't know, but "We'll Rock You," "We Are the Champions," obviously classics. So, quick look at the top here. So it's their sixth album. It's the band's second album to be recorded. Blah blah blah. So yeah, from 1977. Yeah. So, "We Are the Champions," "We Will Rock You" are the same, are they?
I think maybe released again. Maybe it's like an A side and B side.
Right. Okay.
I think.
So, Brett, what are you thinking? You looking forward to it?
Yeah. Listen, if the three songs on already is anything to go by, then I think it could be a really sort of good album. But yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to this one. I say because I don't know enough sort of back catalogue stuff for Queen, so to get a bit more of an insight would be quite good to see. And it looks like this is sort of where they're really being quite popular now. If it's the sixth album, they've obviously had a few albums, so it should be, I think, a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. So we're going to be back with you guys in a second, having listened to the album. So see you guys in a second. So we've now listened to "News of the World" by Queen. And I think I'll go first today, give my views, if you don't mind. So yeah, I was quite intrigued by this one because before I listened to it, so obviously, Queen, a world famous rock group, but I was only familiar with their big hits. I'd never explored them at all. So obviously, this gave me the opportunity to do so. I think overall, I'd say I thought there was a lot of variety here. Firstly, in terms of the singing, because I didn't realize they have different kind of lead singers. So one song might be Freddie Mercury, another song will be someone else, another song could be somebody else, and they all have their own kind of distinct voices. So I think that gives them quite a bit of, I don't know, like variety in singing sounds. In the end, I quite enjoyed the album. However, I wasn't enjoying it up to the song "Get Down, Make Love," which we'll talk about later. But from the following song, from "Sleeping on the Sidewalk," it actually really caught my attention, and there was so much variety within each song after that as well. So I don't want to kind of compare it too much to other stuff, but what I will say, it reminded me a little bit of what's it called? Something "The Wall" by
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Not so much in the actual style of music, but more the fact it had me sort of think, this is interesting. In terms of, because I remember talking about that, "The Wall," that it had quite a lot of variety going on. It kept me intrigued, and it was the same with this. Quite a lot of different sounds going on and different sort of genres of music. So I'd probably say I prefer this type of music more than Pink Floyd. That's a little bit too weird for me, but yeah, it was good, and I'd say I'd quite like to maybe see what else Queen have done, some of their other albums as well. So what about you, Brett?
Yeah, I remember my intro was very, very waffly, so I'm really going to try hard not to waffle too much here. And actually, I haven't got a lot to say on this sort of introduction bit. I totally agree with all the points that you made just before there. I like the variety within the album. For me, it was just a relatively short, easy to listen to album. For me, I think the best way I can explain it, I didn't dislike the album. There was definitely songs on there that I liked more than I disliked. And yeah, listen, it had that good mixture, didn't it? You know, sort of being a bit sort of out there and a bit poppy, then a bit rocky and a bit sort of experimental. So a bit of everything. Because the songs weren't that long, it just, you know, it didn't feel a chore or pain to listen to the album. That's probably sort of a real negative way of looking at it, but that's just sort of how I felt from there, really. Hopefully, as we go through some of the songs, we go there. But yeah, like I said, like you, I think I mainly knew Queen's biggest hits and not the sort of back catalogue kind of thing. And for such a big band, and then not know these sort of other ones as well is quite intriguing. So yeah, I mean, I would still want to hear more Queen. Hasn't put me off. I thought it was just an all right, average album.
Okay. So if we go through each song, then the first one was "We Will Rock You." It was very head boppy, you know. The "We Will," yeah. I won't sing it. It's a classic, it's a real classic song. I'd say it's more of a chant than a song, really. It was short as well. Instrumentals then sort of started to sort of warm themselves up at the end. You could hear them sort of getting ready. Felt like to sort of at the start of the album. And yeah, it's a good, you know, song that people sing. Was it? I can't remember where was it on Gladiators they used to sing that? Yeah, it was. Was it? Yeah, many years ago, Saturday night TV. Love a bit of Gladiators. Yeah, it's kind of got a good sort of memory for me, I suppose, and you know, yeah, decent.
Yeah, it's interesting you said about it being a chant. So Brian May, who actually wrote this song, purposely was trying to not write necessarily a song, but I don't know if he would use the word chant, but something that was easy for, you know, to fans to clap along at concerts and just a really just sort of easy good tune. What an opening to an album. This is, I mean, such a well-known song. And I don't know why I find it weird to have it as the first song on an album, but really, really strong starts for this particular album. Just an interesting fact, this was actually just the B-side to the next song we're going to talk about, We Are the Champions. So it was actually never released on its own as a single, which I thought was quite interesting there. And for me, yeah, you obviously got Gladiators. For me, when I first sort of came to this song, and the next one as well, was a movie I used to love as a kid, The Mighty Ducks, which is about a young rubbish team who have a lawyer take them over, and they end up doing really, really well. And it's sometimes with that sort of thing. A lot of American sports have that sort of, you know, chanting of "We Will Rock You" kind of thing. And as we go into "We Are the Champions," yeah, what a great, catchy, great song. And yeah, I always forget about the instrumentals at the end of it as well. Great karaoke song. Let's get the next one as well. You can't not really not like this song. Can't not bop your head to it. Can't, if you know it, not sing along to it as well.
Okay, so the second one then, "We Are the Champions." It's another classic. I was kind of how can I say it? When I was listening to this, I was kind of picturing it from a champion's point of view, like when you're a football team and you've won the league or something of the champions. So I was kind of looking at it from that perspective, even though I shouldn't be, because it's got nothing to do with it. That's just what teams use. So I'm going to kind of look at this and talk about this in two ways. As an actual song, I think it's all right. You know, it's a decent song. But looking at it from like a sports point of view, when teams use it, I don't actually like it because I think it's too slow. Like, you imagine you just won the league and you're sort of at the stadium. I don't know if I've got any actual experience of this, because the team I support, Watford, don't have much success. They're never the champions of anything. So I'm trying to think what situations I've come across this, or maybe I've seen it on TV. I think I'm like, a team wins the league or the cup or something, and then the song comes on, and it's a bit, "We are the champions." It's too drowsy. I don't know, what's the word? It's like it's just a bit too downbeat when you've just won when you're the champions. So I don't actually like it being used as a champion song, if that makes sense. I don't think it works very well for me personally. But as I say, as an actual song, yeah, it's all right. It's a classic.
Yeah, again, like We Will Rock You, a real sort of iconic song, and if you know it, you can't help but sing along to it as well. And yeah, I really, really like it. I totally get what you're saying in terms of, you know, if you're trying to, it is quite slow. It is quite. The way I look at it, I think maybe it's because I'm more associated with my favourite movie, Mighty Ducks, where it's a more fitting champion song, where maybe you've come from behind, or you know, you've come from a really long journey and you finally got there to the end. It's just a mix of emotion of everything that you've sort of gone through to then sort of sing this particular song, even though it has like the line "No time for losers" because we are the champions, which is always quite funny there. But yeah, as a song as itself, yeah, it's definitely it's good. But yeah, I think if I end up being champion of a team, which again very rarely happens, I think the old Spanish sort of champion is a bit more sort of uppy, more excitable to do. But as a song for this, yeah, really, really good. And interesting enough, just whilst we're on interest facts, never made it to number one anywhere in the world. The best they ever got was number 2 in the UK. But yeah, and there's also been a Crazy Frog version, which I don't know what chart that got into the charts, but I think it may have got either the same as number 2 or higher potentially. But yeah, a really good song. And out of curiosity, if I was to ask you, because I think they're quite similar with We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, if you had to pick one, what would be your favourite out of those two? Just put you on the spot.
First of all, how are they similar? Like, quite different.
Well, just in terms of they're the big songs on the album, most well known and used in American sports, and just in that sense.
Probably say We Will Rock You. Probably if I had to choose one, I prefer that one. We Will Rock You.
Okay, cool. I'll probably go We Are Champions, to be fair. But they both go to a playlist, let's be honest.
Okay, number 3, Sheer Heart Attack. This was off to a fast start. I'll be honest, I didn't like it. It was, I'm going to be careful with my words here because I often say too rocky for me. Yeah, can you just say it was very rocky. It had this kind of annoying random whistle type sound at one point, and I'm going to use your favourite word. It was a bit intense, and no, I didn't like this one.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it was too intense, but I'm going to say there was a lot going on this one. I think it's hard, especially I think after the first 2 songs we've had, something to have this was a bit very different. And yeah, that's it. I just felt there was a lot going on. It kind of felt like Queen, but also not like Queen. That's right there. What I found more interesting, so the Queen have actually had an album called Sheer Heart Attack, and on that album there wasn't a song called Sheer Heart Attack. Yeah, on this album they've actually got a song called Sheer Heart Attack, and it made me think. I wonder how many other albums have titles of songs which were names of albums previously. I can't imagine there'd be that many. But yeah, I found that was the most interesting thing whilst I was listening to the song. So we can just move on.
Okay, interesting information. Right, next one, number 4, was All Dead, All Dead. This was a much slower start, much easier on my ears, so I appreciated that. We heard a piano. It was kind of like a almost enchanting sound enchanting sound part way through. And according to Wikipedia, Brian May was on vocals. So yeah, he has a very different voice to Freddie Mercury, who I guess I'm probably more used to hearing on the big hits, I think. So yeah, I don't know. It was all right. Better than Sheer Heart Attack. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I preferred this one over to Sheer Heart Attack, and there was obviously a big contrast. Obviously, we had the piano style, nice, little slow relaxing kind of feel. It was weird because at first I didn't realise Brian May was singing, and it did sound a bit different, but not for me enough to go, oh, it's definitely a different singer on this. And it wasn't until the band I listened to again, I can think more about it. Really at the time, I actually struggled to tell the difference, that one there. And the other thing, it's weird because again, All Dead. I was trying to work out what the song was really trying to be about, and all I could really hear, it sounded more like All Day, and it didn't feel like it should have been like an All Dead type song. It wasn't, I don't know, it felt quite nice in a way, and I know sometimes you can have deeper meanings to it, but like I said, it was a song that made me think, and all I can say was, I definitely preferred it to Sheer Heart Attack.
So number 5, we had Spread Your Wings. I remember during the introduction, before we listened to the album, I think you said you knew this song, and I think you basically inferred that you like it because you said something about, judging from the songs that I know, this could be a good album. So for me, I don't know, it's kind of described as a kind of rock ballad. It's kind of okay, but just pretty average for me. I didn't hate it, but I didn't particularly like it that much either.
That's why I didn't know the song. I still feel that now, like, again, I remember saying it, I did like it at the time. Like I said, it was more because it's something I heard more on a recent basis, and I can't remember if I said in the intro or not. So it reminded me of a Robbie Williams song, and that's what poked me up to sort of like that a little bit more. But as you said, it's a rock ballad. I just felt, it's easy to listen to. It doesn't get too over the top. It's just a good sort of rock ballad from there. So I still like it. Is it my favourite song on the album? No. Probably a little surprised what might end up being my sort of favourite song on the album. But I still like it, and I still think it's definitely a good song for the album.
So next up was Fight from the Inside. I've kind of described it as a slow rock song with shouty singing from Taylor. This one wasn't really for me. I just don't like that style of singing where it's just a bit too, I don't know if aggressive is the right word, but just a bit too kind of shouty. Like I said, I don't really like that type of singing.
Yeah, I think maybe because he's the drummer, I feel like they have to shout that a little bit more when they're singing. Again, it's an all right song for the album. Didn't hate it, didn't absolutely love it. I've put it here sort of like as a pop rock with kind of like a disco kind of feel to it. And I know Queen did, sort of progress, from doing a lot of sort of hard rock to soft rock to almost pop / disco. So I think it had a bit of all of that in there. So again, just an average song for the average album.
Yeah, so that was the end of part 1. And at this stage, I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. I wasn't really enjoying it. Obviously, the first 2 songs, the classics that we all know. But like songs 3, 4, 5, and 6, a bit marish. So we move on to track number 7, which is Get Down, Make Love. This was a really strange one. So there was like no beat at the beginning. A bit of singing, but no kind of real beat going on. I just put feels experimental, strange sounds. It's not a proper song in the traditional sense. That makes sense. Like, I don't know. It was very stop-starty. It was very odd. No consistency to it. Obviously, that's purposely. I don't know. They've obviously purposely done it like that. And sort of at one point, I think towards the end, almost sounded like someone had fallen down a black hole. Okay. I was more just kind of intrigued by it rather than did I like it? Did I not like it? I don't know. It was just a peculiar one, really.
So as I always said, it's always one that I try and put from the album and call it my experimental, or be classed as experimental song. And for me, this would be potentially it. The whole black hole thing, I don't like that energy. It probably makes sense. I really like that bit. It was just, again, there was a lot going on. And as you said, it was purposely to be done with that there. It just felt it was proper 1970s, where space is probably like this big thing and all this spatial sounds and whatnot. And then we had sort of the whole psychedelic kind of feel elements to it, and then 70s rock. I found out actually this is meant to be Queen's most sexual song that they've ever written and put out. Not that I could imagine there was many of those. Maybe there are, I don't know. And I guess that was all about. But yeah, I said it's just a lot going on. I think the plus side, it wasn't the longest song on the album. I felt if this was a really long song, probably would have felt a lot worse. But give it credit where it's due. Like I said, experimental, a lot going on. Interesting, makes you think, and it was okay then to move on to the next track.
Yeah, maybe one more thing I could add. Could probably say it has Pink Floyd vibes to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So next one was Sleeping on the Sidewalk. This one really took me by surprise. It was like sort of blues music, I guess. Felt very different. Felt very American, even though they're a British band. I mean, the name itself, Sleeping on the Sidewalk. Sidewalk's American English. Yeah. Obviously, purposely, did that, sung like that. I thought this was one of the better songs on the album. Possibly the best, possibly. And I would just never believe that this was Queen. Like, if I didn't know I was listening to Queen, I would never in a million years say, this is Queen. I thought the chorus was pretty good as well. It was like a kind of catchy chorus. So, this is where the album sort of took a turn for me and actually sort of started to grab my attention, in a positive way. So, yeah, this was quite good, this one.
I didn't even think about that with the title. I've literally put sort of exactly what you said there already. So American. Very much like a blues song / country kind of thing. Just kind of how American this kind of felt. Really. I liked how I said it picked up, and as you said there, I think if this came up in a quiz, even if I knew the title of the song, never would have guessed it to be a Queen song. And I think that's what's quite good about Queen, that they do have these different elements to them, really. But this was, like I said, an all right, good song. But I said it just didn't feel like it was Queen.
Yeah. So when I said it, I couldn't tell it was Queen. I meant that in like a positive way. I like the fact they have that variety. So next one was Who Needs You. I just put down, what the hell? Like, again, it was another kind of surprise, not what I was expecting at all. Almost kind of like samba style, Latin American. Softly sung as well, and just again wasn't expecting this from Queen at all, and it was really quite enjoyable. It was another one of definitely the better songs on the album.
Yeah, so this massively surprised me as well, and I would happily say this is probably my favourite song on the album, which I find really weird because I don't think I would normally say this is a nice song, this is quite a good song, like the difference to it, but I really end up really enjoying this by the end of it as well. You also said like the vocals were quite soft, so I didn't know if it was just me. So when I was listening to it, it sounded like the music was a lot louder and then the vocals were a lot quieter. So I didn't know if that was purpose or across there. But and they had a really cool guitar riff in the middle, and it just made you feel like being on holiday. Maybe because I missed being on holiday, maybe that's why it probably felt like being in the Caribbean, drinking a cocktail, enjoying the theatre. And again, probably would never think of it. It did vocally did sound like a bit like Queen, but again, would never feel comfortable to go, oh yeah, this is definitely Queen. So again, like the variety in it, and it surprised me. And I said, I'm happy to say this was my favourite on the album.
Yeah. Okay, and we had It's Late, so a very soft start, and then I've put down here, this is more like the Queen I was expecting. Loud and choiry, like they have that kind of, I don't know, like backing kind of singing. I don't know, I can't explain it. They often have.
Like harmonised.
Yeah, harmonised. So, yeah, I didn't mind it. There was quite a bit going on, and it started to speed up. I've described this as what probably hardcore Queen fans might describe as a real masterpiece. I can imagine them saying, "Oh, what a masterpiece this one is." Now, it was a long song. It was the longest song on the album, and it's the only long song as well. All the other songs were, about 3 minute, 3 minute odd long. This one was a lot longer. That was about 6 minutes, was it? Something like that. So yeah, it was long, but there was so much going on that it didn't really get boring for me. I wasn't thinking like, oh, when's it going to finish? It did have me sort of, intrigued by it. I wouldn't say I really liked it, but it was interesting.
Yeah, like you made the same point where this was the longest song on the album. It also didn't feel like it. I knew when it started, I don't know, for some reason I had this vibe that I was going to like it straight away. I don't know why, it just had a good feeling for it. And it turns out I did. Like I said, it wasn't my favourite, ended up being on the album, but it was still very enjoyable. And as you said it as well, I wrote down, this feels like proper Queen. And I really like that, again, your analogy. I can imagine hardcore Queen fans going, yeah, forget your We Will Rock Yous, forget your forget your commercial pop ones. This is real Queen. This is why. And I could see why. I said it had a lot going on to it, but enough to sort of keep you intrigued and appreciate what was being done. So yeah, I really did like this one. It'll probably be up there, the sort of Champion Leagues places for me in that sort of top part of the table, if I had to have it. So yeah, nice.
So again, we finish off with I can't pronounce this properly. Melancholy. Can you pronounce it? Melancholy.
No.
Blues. So it started off with some piano singing. So singing, next to the piano, playing the piano. Slow song. I've put a nice way to end the album. A nice, calm, sort of pleasant way to end it. Although I wasn't actually particularly keen on the song itself in terms of, the singing and everything, but it was still nice and relaxing though. So I did still kind of like the ending or the song in that particular sense. Just the fact it was, a nice way to end the album, even if the song itself wasn't really particularly like it. I'm not contradicting myself. I don't know if you know what I mean, but yeah, that's my view on it.
Yeah, I wrote the same. I said it was a nice song to end the album. I'll try and explain in the same way because I think we feel the same. I think that the easiest way I can say it wasn't a dislikable song. It was just a nice song again for the particular album. In terms of the song itself, I've put here it was felt that sort of Americans 1930s thing. I think we talked about before, like Amy Winehouse, that kind of had that same sort of vibe to it, slow, kind of the deep meaning to it, quite emotional, and it was main focus on Freddie and his singing. So I think, yeah, again, a really good song. I could also imagine like hardcore Queen fans probably saying this is not to say the prime of what Queen's all about, but this is like a top song. I can imagine them saying, if I was to use what you were saying before, really, just because I think it puts more focus on Freddie Mercury and his singing, and he sings it really well. It is an all right, nice song, nice and short, nice way to end the album, and that's how it ends.
Okay, so to sum up, it's nice to listen to those first two classics. And for me, it was the second part of the album, the second side of the album that really grabbed my attention. And as a result of that, that's why, my overall verdict is that I quite enjoyed the album overall. And because of the second side of the album, it's has got me a bit intrigued as to what else Queen do. So that's why I'd be quite interested to check out some of their other albums as well, to kind of see, what other kind of styles they've got going on. Album wasn't too long. The songs were short, apart from one, so very listenable, and quite enjoyed it. So Brett, what about you?
Yeah, if I could say much more different to what we've already said already and we've just said now. Nice, short, listenable, easy to listen to album. Had your good classic, well-known couple of pop songs that were familiar you could enjoy there. A couple of experimental ones, which maybe over time, and if you had them, listening back in the day, might appreciate and like them more. And then a couple of nice surprise songs I actually quite liked as well. So, like I said, even though I felt really it didn't blow me away, the album, I did enjoy it. I would want to listen to other Queen albums and hear more of the back catalogue kind of stuff as well. And learned a bit from it, and also to a couple of good songs I quite like the Queen now as well, that I didn't know before.
Okay, so that concludes our album review of Queen, News of the World. Just to let you know, we do accept album requests. If there's an album you want us to listen to, it could be by any artist in any language. Please let us know in the comments section below, and we will do it for you, because no one else seems to be requesting. There's not much competition around, so yeah, now's your chance. And you'll also have the opportunity to appear on our video if you so wish. You don't have to kind of introduce your album, why you've chosen it. So yeah, we're looking forward to being inundated with album requests. So thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon for the next one. And don't forget to watch our reaction videos as well, which is what we mainly do on our channel now. So thank you and goodbye.